What's going on in Canada in general? Is the terrorist activity there greater than it is in our country?
Well,
you talk about we're concerned about our southern border, but the northern border is probably as bad or worse. Is that right?
Paul, what you can do in Canada right now, just say I'm a terrorist, okay? And I want to visit my friend Mary in Midland, Texas. And I want to blow up the studio. If I land in Canada, any airport in Canada, now get this, and I say, oh, guess what? I am a terrorist from the Middle East, and I've come here, but I need political asylum. The Canadian government, by law, is bound to give me asylum.
Really?
They have to. And not only that, but they immediately put me on welfare.
Wow.
And they grant me public housing. So is it any wonder that thousands and thousands and thousands of these people from the Middle East are now landing in Canada? They're granted asylum, and they're granted a life on the dole. I mean, what could be better?
Why isn't the Canadian government concerned about them?
Paul, I wish I could answer that. Why isn't our government concerned about the things going on? Can we talk about a little bit about what's going on here?
Sure.
Because, this is what we're... Right here in the United States. Let me show you some pictures. Okay. Let's go to picture number 3 of Islamberg. Okay?
That's New York.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Look at that. Look at that handsome devil. Who is that? Paul, you got to get that guy. I mean, he just... it is not.
What's that say there?
It says International Quranic Open University. That's at Islamberg. That is not Errol Flynn, by the way.
Okay.
Okay? But this is at Islamberg, and I visited there, and let me show you a couple things about Islamberg. Let's go to shot number 4. See what we have there. Oh, this is, they say the Islamberg is the site of the International Open Quranic Center. Okay, this is what a joke this place is. That, you see that little, claptrap house? That is the Open International Quranic Center at Islamberg. If you go to the eastern parameters of this property, as I have, you will find firing ranges, school buses there, Paul. School buses riddled with machine gun bullets.
Wow.
Targets.
If you go to Islamberg, you're here, rat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat. Now, what's interesting is the inhabitants of Islamberg and the other Jamaat al-Fuqra compounds throughout the country, they're African-American, and they've all been recruited from the prison system. Really? Every one of them. They're felons. And yet, they're at these places with semi-automatic weapons. It's incredible. Let's talk a little bit about Jamaat al-Fuqra. Take a look at number 1, slide number 1, if we can, of this group. You can see this map. This is some of the incidents, violent incidents regarding Jamaat al-Fuqra within the last few years.
All of those?
Paul, over 40.
Really?
Wow.
You can't fit them on a map. Let me just tell you some of the most notorious. John Allen Muhammad, the Beltway sniper, a member of Jamaat al-Fuqra.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, Jamaat al-Fuqra. When Daniel Pearl, the Wall Street journalist, was going to meet Sheikh Jilani, the head of Jamaat al-Fuqra, he was kidnapped and beheaded. So the perpetuators of the World Trade Center bombing in 1993, Jamaat al-Fuqra. Now get this. These people are running compounds like Islamberg.
Those paramilitary type?
Paramilitary, training them for the jihad. They also have fruit, like watermelons, where they have people with scimitars swinging the scimitar to chop the watermelon in half to practice chopping off your head. Now these places, like in the beginning I thought there were only 12 of them. Oh, let me show you another one. Oh, this is funny.
Texas is very prominent there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let me show you another one. Slide number 2. This is a team of mine. That's my friend George. This is a place called Red House. If you go there, what's interesting about these compounds, this is great, for me it's a great story anyhow. You think you've stumbled on a rusty trailer park. You figured, oh man, what's this rusty trailer park doing way out in the woods? And I mean, it really looks like a dump. And there's my friend George, who is a Syrian Christian, wonderful guy. And he speaks fluent Arabic. But he travels around with us, and he's very useful. And this is, you see that old woman there? She said, oh, this place is deserted. Nobody's around here. This old woman in a burqa. Well, George and company were hanging around Red House, the Red House compound in Red House, Virginia, and it appeared to be deserted. Nobody showed up, but these guys didn't leave. They stayed there. Well, Paul, as the hours went on, there's a little shed there. It looked like an outhouse. And from this outhouse came a dozen Muslim men in full Islamic attire. Just out of nowhere, from an outhouse. And they said, what are you guys doing here? In the blink of an eye, a dozen more appear. In a matter of seconds, these guys who work with me are surrounded with hundreds of jihadis in this place that was supposed to be deserted, all coming from underground. All coming from an underground compound.
Had to be.
Yeah. And in a matter of minutes, I mean, these guys, seriously, and all of us that travel in these places, were lucky to get out alive. They got out alive because this guy speaks fluent Arabic, and the day before he visited a mosque in Falls Church, Virginia, with Patty May, and he had the imam's card, and that card was a get-out-of-there free pass. Otherwise, I think they'd still be, they'd be somewhere in that underground bunker.
How many are there in our country like that? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I do. They're in Commerce, Georgia right now. I have photographs. I'm working with a team from ABC right now. I told them about it, and they said, oh, this is crazy. I said, well, look, why don't you just go on a little flight, because you have a helicopter down there. Fly over this compound, and I gave them directions. And they called me back up. This is the ABC in Atlanta. And they said, Paul, they said, we can't believe it. These guys are building the biggest underground compound we've ever seen. They said it's several football fields long. And they have photographs of it, right? So I called up the leading Republican in charge of the Intelligence Committee at my friend's Patty's request, Hostra. And I informed him of what's going on at these different compounds throughout the country, that these guys are building underground bunkers, that they are felons, that they are practicing for the jihad. So I tell them everything about the bunkers. And you know what? This guy's the head of intelligence. This is the state we're in right now. He said to me, Paul, they couldn't be building that bunker without a building permit.
That's laughable.
True. This is the truth. That's the state of our intelligence. But how many are in the country? In the beginning, I thought there were 12, Paul. And then I realized that there were at least 24. Now I realize there were at least 62.
Really? That you know of?
Yeah. They're all over the place. They're in very rural areas. And they operate under, they operate as always as non-profit Islamic groups. One group they operate under is the Muslims of the Americas. If you see that sign, I think I have a copy of it. Yeah, take a look at number 7 of Islamberg, slide 7. You see that sign? The Muslims of the Americas. You think you're going to this glorious retreat, like a Benedictine monastery or Carmelite convent. The Muslims, you're going to a jihadi training place. And this is a 501c3 non-profit corporation operated by the leading terrorist group throughout the world, and it still operates and still accepts contributions on American soil. We haven't even shut it down. Oh, let me tell you something else. Oh, yeah, we informed the FBI about Islamberg and what was going there. Let's go to slide number 6. This is one of my favorites. Slide number 6 of Islamberg. Okay. Now this is a delightful picture. The FBI finally did arrive at Islamberg to investigate the situation there. Now you got to realize that these are the guys that have committed over 40 terrorist acts, that blew up the World Trade Center in 1993, but who cares about such things? And have perpetuated crimes too long to list on American soil. The FBI finally shows up at Islamberg not to investigate. These are FBI agents there. Not to investigate the situation there, but guess what they did? They had a picnic.
You're kidding.
Isn't that nice? Yes. They sat down and had a picnic with these guys. This is what happened. This is the state. Where is the FBI, my good friends? They're at a picnic at Islamberg.
Oh.
That is the truth.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, the picture is 1,000 words, right, Paul?
Okay, so it's pretty obvious, I guess. What's the purpose of the paramilitary sites? What's the real purpose for them?
The real purpose is to, when the attack comes on American soil, these people are going to, I believe, they're going to initiate the dirty work.
Okay.
They're going to do the
cleanup.
They're going to come into your house. They're going to come into your town. They're going to visit your ranch. And guess what, American people? You better be ready for them. You better. I know where I'm from in the Northeast. They're not ready for it.
No.
They think all these people are benign. That they're great people, just like believing Christians and devout Jews. They believe they're cut of the same cloth as we are. Let me tell you, they're not. They are planning for the day of Islam.
Well, that kind of opens up this question I was going to ask you, because I think we've seen on a website a place to go. Is it your website where you could look for safety tips and things we can be doing to prepare? Do you know?
You can, a great place to go. There are a couple places where you can go.
Okay.
One thing, everybody that's listening to this program, and it's in, if you're, and I know many of you are overseas, but radical Islam, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Moral Liberation Group, they are not at war with England or France or Spain. They're not at war with Canada. They're not at war, certainly, with Japan. They're at war with the United States. And everybody who's an American right now must have some potassium iodine on tap.
Really?
Because that's the number one thing.
Water.
And water that can protect you from a nuclear attack. We could talk about the inevitability of
Well, I'm afraid people that might be a little frightened by this need somewhere to look to see what they can do.
Yeah. They can go to the website of B'nai Elim. I'm a member of that. It's a Zionist group. B''NAIELI.
It actually has survival tips and things.
America's Truth Forum. Our friend Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. Yes. Yeah. AmericasTruthForum.com.
Yes.
And spell the other one you were naming.
B''NAI. Sons of Elim. ELIM. The mighty. Sons of the mighty. I am a son of the mighty.